Yeah, just a quick review of the Smith Amish Arthritis Cream. So, what's it for? I mean, why would you consider buying this product? Well, it's mainly if you have any kind of pain from your joints or any kind of muscular pain. So, for instance, let's say you went out and you helped a friend move this last weekend, and got up Monday morning, you're like, oh my God, my back, my muscles are in knots, that kind of thing. That'd be one good use for this. Or let's say you have like knee arthritis, and you have knee pain, off and on or fairly consistently. That's something that you would consider using this product for. So what's in it? I mean, how does this stuff work? Well, anytime you're considering using something like this, you need to ask yourself one question. What are the active ingredients? So what exactly is an active ingredient? Well, it's any ingredient that has a direct biological effect or any kind of pharmacological activity in the body. In other words, these are the ingredients in the product that really do the heavy lifting and really make it work. So in the case of the Smith Amish Arthritis Cream, the active ingredient is 1.25% menthol. Okay. And how does menthol work? Well, when you put menthol on, it gives you a cooling sensation that stimulates the nerves, and then this helps block pain. So that's kind of how it works. So is it permanent or temporary relief? Well, I think there are cases where actually you can get permanent relief. I think going back to the example, if you help a friend move, you have like muscular pain, like in your back. Muscular pain, you get pain in your muscles. They tend to go into spasm sometimes. Then spasm creates more pain. Then the pain creates more spasm. So what you have going on is this pain, spasm, pain cycle. So I think in the cases where you have this pain, spasm, pain cycle, I think you can actually break that up with something like this. So what you do is you put it on, and it kind of gets rid of the pain, and so that interrupts the whole cycle, and so it doesn't come back again. Sometimes you do it once or twice, but I think in the pain, spasm, pain cycle, that's about all it takes, and then you're pretty much got back to where you were before. Unfortunately, other cases, chronic knee pain, long-term knee pain, like with arthritis, there tend to be more chronic long-term conditions that you really need several things to do to get pain-free or get your pain down to very manageable levels. So let's take the example like knee arthritis. Well, the cream works, but maybe it's kind of just temporarily, so you just kind of use it as needed. But there are other things that do give you more permanent relief. So we all know something, I'll say, like exercise, okay? So for instance, we all know that if you make your knee stronger, you make your knee more flexible, we all know your knee's gonna, be more stable, it's gonna move better, and the pain levels are gonna go down. But you can't really do any of those exercises right now because your knee hurts. So what you do is you use this product to do the things that give you long-term relief. So you put this stuff on. You can't do any exercise now because, hey, your knee hurts. So you put this stuff on, pain levels go down. Now you have an opportunity to go ahead and do, say, some knee exercises. So, for instance, you would do, I'm getting this from like Bulletproof Your Knee book. If you have like knee pain, you would want to do, and you don't take a ton of exercises either to get where you want to be. Keep your quads strong. So for instance, you would do like a quadriceps exercise. Why the quadriceps? Basically, this is the big muscle on the top of your leg. It's a key stabilizer of your knee joint. What the research is finding now, just about any problem you can name with your knee, including like arthritis, research go around and testing the muscles around the knee, and they find basically it's just the quadriceps muscle that really takes a big hit. In other words, just not as strong as it should be. It's really weak, at least weaker than it should be. And some of these studies are doing like CT scans and looking at cross-sectional area, finding it's actually smaller than normal. So for instance, other conditions, another study demonstrated even if you have as little as 20 milliliters of fluid in your knee, which is just over a tablespoon, it's enough to decrease the strength of your quadriceps muscle. So if you have any kind of swelling in your knee, whether it's acute or it's long-term, it has a tendency to weaken your quads, basically because it kind of shuts down the contraction process, I think. Anyway, knee injuries, if you've had like a knee injury, like surgical opening of the knee joint, any prior knee surgery, they find people have tendency to have weak quads. Ligament problems, you've heard of the ACL, the anterior cruciate ligament. So when researchers check the muscles around the knee, they find basically the quadriceps takes a big hit. Look, this research found the strength of the quadriceps muscle in the injured leg after they had like an ACL rupture was decreased by 25 to 30%. So you're taking the major stabilizer muscle of your knee and you're knocking its strength down 25 to 30%. Same thing with posterior cruciate ligament, medial collateral ligament, knee arthritis. So if you Google like knee arthritis and quadriceps strength, you're going to find just about every study shows that if you have knee arthritis, your quadriceps muscles are really weak. And likewise, some of these studies are actually showing that the people with the stronger quads have the least progression of their knee arthritis. So you got a lot of reasons to, strengthen the quadriceps muscles. So that'd be like one, maybe two exercises. The other thing you want to do is make your knee more flexible. We all know your knee bends and straightens. What a lot of people don't is your knee actually rotates. So about the last 10 to 15 degrees of you straightening your leg, your knee laterally rotates. so it kind of rotates out to the side. And that's an accessory motion that you have to have. So this is a little test to see if you have that. And if you do the right stretches, you can get that back. Here again, function improves, strength improves, motion of your knee improves. That's gonna make your pain levels go away. But hey, you can't do that now. Put some of the cream on, and then enable you. You do these exercises a couple times a week. Week by week, your knee gets stronger, more flexible. That's where you get the long-term relief. So yeah, good product. Check it out.